Welcome to the Peapod. And just like the peas in a peapod, each human is here to have experiences that will contribute to the growth of all. Here at the Peapod, we will examine some of these experiences and glean the lessons learned, the truth uncovered, and come to a deeper understanding through our sharing. So grab your popcorn, get comfortable, maybe even a paper and pen, and get ready for an amazing time with your hostess, Terry Angel, a woman on a mission to bring change, especially in the arena of peace, into our world. And here she is.
Thank you to our Jim Mershon for recording that for me and introducing us to the Peapod. And I just have a short welcome note for everyone. I just want to let you know that in meditation, the angels show me an image of a peapod, kind of like what's behind me on the screen. And inside of it was all of us. And what they said was, we are one, and we are all fed by the same source, the Creator. So this is a gathering of the peas in a safe container, the Peapod. It's an incubator for love, allowing each unique person to speak, expressing with love, sharing hope into our world. The topic today is faith, trust, and confidence in a Creator. Wendell Berry said charity, even for one person, does not make sense except in terms of an effort to love all creation in response to the Creator's love for it. Today, I welcome ShaRon Rea and Terry Wildemann to the Peapod. Welcome, ladies. I'm so excited and so happy that you're here.
Thank you, Terry, for having us.
Very excited to be here.
What a delight. You know, when I was first given this mission by the angels, they said, you're going to do a podcast. And I'm like, oh, one thing on my plate, right, angels? But it has been such a treasure every week to come live, to have people that just want to express, just like what the writing was all about, to express love out into the world. It's what we need right now. And I feel like that love is so guided by a Creator. So ladies, let's talk about that. Let's talk about this world, this Earth planet that we're on, and what are we doing here? What is that thing that keeps us every day getting up and doing what we do? And I know the two of you are so into service. The services that you offer to people are amazing. So I just like to open up the discussion with whoever wants to talk first, and let's just see what comes out.
I'd love to hear from you, Terry, with a why.
Okay. When I wake up in the morning, I've made it a practice of staying in bed, shifting into my heart, breathing deeply, and stepping into gratitude for everything that's in my world. I'm in gratitude for my pillow. I'm in gratitude for the pillowcase, the sheets, the covers, my bed, my bedroom, everything, on and on and on, my house, my food. And I just go through this laundry list of things that I'm grateful for. And I find that when I do that, it elevates my energy. And it puts me into a place of love, gratitude, and appreciation. So when the challenges do come during the day, and let's face it, there's challenges every day in different arenas in different ways, they just don't seem that big. The insights are always there. The intuitive insights are there to be able to find the answers to what it is that we're looking for to solve whatever it is that's in front of us. The solutions come much easier. When I don't do that and I jump out of bed and I immediately go into run, the day tends to be energetically chaotic. So starting with that place of love really has made a difference for me.
That's
What about
beautiful.
you, ShaRon?
Oh, well, I wake up the same way, staying in bed. And I too go through a lot of gratitude. And recently I've been wanting to laugh more. So I keep finding things that make me laugh that I'm grateful for. One of them is I'm grateful for my nose hairs.
I'm with the chin hair.
On the inside because they filter out the air. I don't have to think about it. Somebody, God, universe, creator decided let's put hairs in there. So when they breathe the air, because we know it's going to get toxic, that it can help them. So I just try and find different things. And I see the inside of my body is this, like I'm of an age of Babes in Toyland. I don't know if you guys remember that cartoon, but there's lots of gears and soldiers and things, and they're making my blood go and my air go through my lungs and everything, the parts that I don't even know. It just makes, I can't talk about it without chuckling. And then throughout the day, I have become practiced with my emotion. So even though I do take time to do a solid meditation that as often as I can, I feel like I'm a walking meditation all the time because I'm constantly, when I feel a little tinge or a big tinge or anger, or I just immediately pause and say, okay, this is not going to be good for my health. It's not good for the energy that I send out to the world, which I'm cognizant of. And I'd like to have it shift. So I ask. And sometimes it shifts right away. Sometimes it takes me a little longer when it's a little stronger. Stronger takes longer for me, but I do get there. So my reason for being here, Terry, I think that was part of the question as well. I absolutely adore people. I can't even tell you how much. They make me giggle. They make me smile. They make me inquisitive, curious, puzzling, contemplative, but I just love every person I encounter. And so I think I'm here something around love, maybe no judgment, just love, something like that.
I didn't answer that that part of the question, Terry. And ShaRon, the way you frame that, I just absolutely love it. Why am I here? I apologize. I didn't answer that question. I think it's getting clearer and clearer every day. I was sick in my earlier years. I was told I couldn't have children. I had a lot of female problems, blah, blah, blah. But I always knew, and this is the key with love. It's about it, I'm going to focus on trust, okay, which is part of the segment. At the age of 8, I knew I was supposed to have 2 kids and adopt one. I just knew it. My intuition was always sharp. And then fast forward to the age of 24, things started to change in my body. And I was told by 4 doctors I could not have children. And I'm like, I'm trusting, I'm believing, you're not taking anything out. End of story. And I kept it. I got, I went through hell and back. I didn't care, but I just was in such faith and trust. And got married at 31, and 9 months and 2 days later, my first one was born. Yeah, 4 years after that, fast forward, we were stationed in England. And I'm thinking, how is this going to happen? Bam, we're on vacation in Rome, and my husband looks at me and says, I think you're pregnant. You look awful.
Thanks, dear.
Yeah, right.
I was green. And 7.5 months later, note how long, 7.5 months later, my next child was born. And she was a miracle. This is about faith and trust.
Yes.
Also because the midwife, she was an emergency C-section. She was a preemie 6 weeks early. And the doctor walked, or not the doctor, the midwife, we were in England. The midwife walked in and said to me, Mrs. Wildemann, your daughter has no business being here. And I remember going, what? Is this a British? And she was in the operating room, and they handed her the umbilical cord. And there were 2 tight knots in her cord.
Whoa.
Exactly. And right now she's a 31-year-old physical therapist, and she's doing fantastically well. And then fast forward to Newport, Rhode Island, again, faith and trust. Remember, at the age of 8, I said I was going to have 2 and adopt one. And we ended up, make a very long story short, we did end up adopting my youngest, and I always knew my child would be in South America. Well, the only place we could adopt from was Guatemala because of our ages. And we adopted him. We adopted Jonathan. He was 2.5 years old. Brought him home, and I was bathing him and drying him off, put him on the bed, and I'm drying him down. And all of a sudden I was like, oh my God. And he has a birthmark on his inner thigh, as does my oldest daughter.
Wow.
So faith and trust is about allowing, and all that's a story of faith, trust, and intuition. It's about listening to my inner guidance. It's about allowing myself to own what I was feeling, regardless of what the outside world was telling me. Now, my last doctor, to her credit, she did say, I doubt you can have children. However, let's get your body in shape in case you can, and you finally end up getting married to your husband. Because he and I were dating for 8 years. It's like, okay, when are we going to do this? So anyway, it all worked out because of faith, trust, love, intuition, and a big belief in the angels, like Terry Angel. We've talked, Terry and I've had several conversations about the angels, and your inner wisdom is powerful if we get out of the way and trust ourselves.
Oh,
So
beautiful. Beautiful. I love stories of miracles. And every one of those was a miracle, Terry.
was.
Yeah.
And miracle, as I just spoke about this, and I'll tell you, this is pretty fresh. I don't normally talk about this in public, but this is fresh for me because I was asked to give a speech last week, and it was about what made me who I am. And I started off the the speech with miracles. Every day there are miracles, and I expect miracles every day. And the moment you open your eyes, it's a miracle.
Yes.
So when you look at life through the lens of miracles, more and more of that comes to you. And I'll tell you, I had a miracle when I was just in San Francisco with help walking up those hills.
Oh, wow. I've not been to San Francisco, but tell us, how was that?
I got, lots of great exercise. I'm not going to kid you, but it was my husband, the first night we were there, and we spent time with our daughter who lives out there, and we're walking up the hill, and all he kept saying is, who in their right mind decided to build this place on the side of a mountain?
Have you been there, Terry?
I'm sorry?
No, I have not.
Yeah.
It is. I just stood there going, my B&B is at the top of that mountain. So we got up there, but it took a while. It was pretty funny.
Oh my gosh.
It was a miracle we got in the door to the B&B because we were laughing so hard.
Yeah, I've never been to San Francisco, but I so love the places in California where the mountains and the sea meet. To me, that is paradise.
It is.
You have the best of both worlds with that.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. So what about you, ShaRon? What miracles are happening with you?
Oh my gosh. Let me count the ways. What I'm finding with faith and trust in the creator, the universe, God, more and more recently, the answer shows up before I even know that I have a question, which is,
Yes,
it's so intriguing. I'm moving through some doubts and uncertainty and curiosity about where my business is going. I'm a coach, and I'm starting to not use the words that I usually use because I'm transitioning from life and family to, Terry, I'd share with you this morning, no judgment, just love, coaching, lifestyle, and social impact. And so in that space, I kind of know who I am because I've had, Terry, lots of different things. I've been a life coach, been a family coach, I've had comfy couch, I have no judgment, I have fathers, I have prison, I have a lot of things. And they all are inspiring to me, but trying to put them in one space was a little odd. So I had a conversation with a gentleman. I don't know if you guys know his name. I didn't, but apparently he's very famous, Jim Britt.
Yeah.
And okay. And, about an hour-long conversation. And he's talking to me about, how he coached and what he did. And he said, and I get up and I tell stories. And I listened to one of his videos, and he was talking to this woman who had obviously been abused, and how she came to his seminar. And I think it was about getting self-esteem higher or something like that. Anyway, he worked with her, talked to her, and she finally went home after he realized, it was the man that she was living with. And she walked in the door, and the man was gone. And there was a note that said, I can't be here anymore. You're different. And I thought, wow, what a cool story. And the way he did it was sort of manly like, and the way I would do it would be a little different, the way I would help that person. But it was, I said, oh, wish I had a chance to do that. I'll have to remember that story. Well, I just had a client today. She wasn't beaten or anything, but she's finding the courage to move away from a situation that is unhealthy for her. And I heard myself saying these things. And at the same time, I'm going, I just heard the story from this man yesterday. And here I am placed in front of someone to give my version of empowerment and how the energy that you carry with you, because the person that she was with was gentle, and all of a sudden they became angry and combative. And I said, well, you walked in with a very different, empowered, strong, confident energy. And that person, unbeknownst to them, didn't know what to do with that. So I just thought, this is really cool when you get the answer to something that hasn't even come up with yet. And that to me is faith, that I'm always going to be guided like you talk about, Terry. No matter who's in front of me, this conversation not being prepared for, we're going to have whatever comes up is going to be totally appropriate, not only for the three of us, but for whomever is listening.
Miracles.
Miracles.
And, I don't believe in accidents or coincidences. So you were prepared for that, ShaRon. You definitely it was there for you to be aware of. And that's the other thing too, is what we focus on expands. So you were focused on wanting to help somebody, wanting to be of service. And I know that you do that so well. And Terry, I know you as well. We're all about how can I help? And, Terry, you're talking about your routine in the morning, staying in bed and then just focus on what do I need? Every morning when I wake up, I'm like, how can I be of service today? What can I do that's going to make an impact today? And I was just reminded last night, as a matter of fact, by the angels in the blog that I wrote, that when we first wake up, that very first moment, like the first 30 to 60 seconds after your brain starts kicking in and your eyes are going to start opening, you're still connected in to your higher consciousness. You still haven't come fully back into the brain going crazy with the chatter and your to-do lists and smells and sights. And so you're still wrapped up in that energy of your higher self. And that is the optimum time to ask what you need, ask what can I do to make a difference in the world? What do I need to know for my inner guidance? So I was just reminded of that last night. And then here we are talking about our morning routines and miracles and things that come through. And like I said, there's no accidents or coincidences. Have either of you tapped into that moment, that special, I call it the holy moment, when you're just waking up and, maybe you've had a dream, maybe not, but you've always been doing some kind of work spiritually during that downtime. So let's talk about that. Have you had any experience like that?
I've had a lot of them lately, and very vivid dreaming, astral traveling, all of that kind of stuff. And there have been a few times in the last few weeks where I lay there going, where the heck did I just come back from? Because it's we're shifting. There's energy that is shifting powerfully, and those of us who are being called to help others heal in mind, body, and spirit in different ways, and we all do it a little bit differently. I do it with entrepreneurship and business, where I guide entrepreneurs to harmonize the spiritual, the personal, and the practical sides of business. So when I'm laying there, I woke up this morning like, wow, I dreamt with my coach. I have never dreamt with my coach. And I don't remember now what it was that we were doing, but I thought, oh my gosh, I just had a dream with my coach and we were working on a bunch of stuff. I should have written it down, but I didn't have the tablet next to my bed, which is what they recommend you do. You have your writing tablet. It was still in my luggage, so I hadn't pulled it out. But yeah, I actually dreamt with my coach about, and I remember it was all about business, and I got some answers around business, which I'm hoping they can come back tonight. Because
intention.
Yeah, set the intention that it happens again. And and I was watching a video today on astral traveling on the Gaia channel. Great channel.
Yes.
And it was also talking about channeling, which is all the things that a lot of us do, but sometimes we're scared to talk about it in public. I tend to have full spectrum intuition. I use all of my senses when I work in intuition and in channeling. And there's a difference between being a medium and a channel, even though there are edges of the same. I bring it all together. And when you use all of those, all of your intuitive gifts, not only are you honoring yourself, you're honoring your students, your clients, and everyone around you, even if they think you're a nutcase, which, especially, it's hard when family looks at you and thinks that I don't believe in any of that stuff that you do. That's really hard. It is hard to stay and to trust. It is hard to stay in faith. It is hard to accept that the people you love the most are the ones who push you away because they don't believe in energy. They don't believe in that you can work with healing and you can heal yourself, and on and on and on. Let's face it, it's from the inside out, not the outside in. And when we work from the inside out, that's where the miracles happen. But when family pushes you away, which I've had done, and it's hard. It's hard to get past that. When the people you love the most, you want them to accept you and your gifts and your talents. You want that so badly sometimes that part of your lesson is about letting that go. And I know for me, it took me a long time to do that.
Yeah. And
But good for you, you got there.
Yeah, it took a while.
Yeah. If you're like me, you also want them to feel that feeling. Pam Grout calls it the divine buzz. And I just want everybody to feel that. I want them to feel that love and that acceptance, that unconditional feeling of, it doesn't matter what you've done or where you've been, you're so accepted and so loved, and you glow from that. And I want everyone to experience that. But like you said, Terry, there are those who just think, oh, you're so weird.
And you know what, though? Here's the one thing that those of us who are healers and are very much into spirituality, I caution them. We can't change the world. The only people we can change is ourselves.
Right.
And contrast. What isn't working is what shows us what will work. So when we embrace the contrast also, as much as I want them to feel that buzz, it's not my business whether they do or not. It's ultimately their choice.
Right.
Choice is so powerful. And all the three of us and all the others who are being called up, it's about stepping in our power, owning who we are, and influencing and modeling what does work. And it's up to them if they choose to go there or not.
Absolutely. 100% agree.
Yeah. But again, when it's family, it's hard. And I'll be fully transparent. One of the people who hurt me the most was my dad when he said to me, I don't believe in that stuff that you do. I don't believe in that energy. You know, he's very much the engineer. He's Cuban. This was in the last couple years, actually. And he's told me many, many times. However, something happened this past weekend.
Oh, what's that?
It was very interesting how in my meditation, I was guided to look at my father, which I did. And I saw him here, but then I saw me in chains.
Oh,
Wrapped in chains. And what I realized was I was allowing my dad's energy to keep me chained up, with allowing myself to be visible and allowing myself to work with my clients on the level that I am meant to work with. And I was able to, using my own skill sets, because everything that I'm certified in, I did it to heal myself first. Using, whether I was using, and actually I was driving from San Francisco to Monterey. So as I'm driving along, no music, no nothing, just healing, constant healing. And then that image came up. And I was doing emotion code and body code and all the different tools that I was using. And finally, all those chains just dropped. And I was able to walk out of them. And it was like, wow. It was a miracle. It really was a miracle. Maybe it was driving through the redwood forest. The energy from the forest is what propelled me to go to that space. But it was very powerful, very enlightening, and gosh, do I feel free.
Oh, yay. That's beautiful. What a beautiful
Miracle.
story.
I hope sharing that story with your audience, Terry, and with ShaRon, I hope that you can look within and see what images come up, honor them, and use the tools that are at your disposal, or find someone to assist you to reduce those sins. Because sometimes those sins are so big, you really do need help. We can't always do it on to bring us down to that space where we can shed what no longer works.
Not only shedding what no longer works, because that's such a beautiful story. And many of us, I would venture to say all of us, have something that we want to shed. But as you were talking, Terry, I realized, yes, I have things to shed, but I also have light to shine.
Yes.
That I'm a little nervous or unsure or not thinking I'm ready, but obviously I am if it's coming up in my consciousness right now. So in the morning, Terry, I think you asked, or you talked about it was the divine time. What did you call it? The seconds right before you wake up?
The holy moments.
Holy moments. Yeah, that's it. Well, sometimes I make a declaration. Sometimes I ask, but this morning I heard, like as soon as my eyes opened up, I heard what I shared with you guys. No judgment, just love, coaching, lifestyle, and social impact. And when I said those three, lifestyle was kind of scratchy. Like it didn't flow like the other two did. And as you were talking, Terry, I heard, ShaRon, you think you don't want to be shining? Well, we're ready for you to shine. It's not lifestyle, it's coaching, spirituality, girl, and social impact. And when I heard it, I was like, oh God. Am I really ready to be that?
Oh
And
my
I
gosh,
just-
Sharon, I feel your pain. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. And my client today, I asked her permission because usually when I'm getting ready to go to that place, I need to ask, what is your faith? And she shared, and I said, well, that's great. That was my faith too. And I'm going to offer you some thoughts in my new spiritual. I heard myself saying all the words, and I went, oh, and she just stopped as if she was gobsmacked. And we have the Course in Miracles tonight, Terry. So I'll probably tell the story again. But and she said, "Whoa, that was so powerful," and I just felt, thank you, whoever guided me to do that, because I could feel, like you said, Terry, you want everyone to feel that. And she felt what I was offering to her in a level that was not topside, was quite internally not accessed yet and deep. And she paused for a little while before she could speak. And then I felt freer to say more the rest of our coaching time. So did that feel different, Terry, that I said those three instead of the first three?
Yeah.
Terry? Well, you're both Terry, so
We're
sorry.
both Terrys.
I know.
We're all one.
Terry with an I, Terry with a Y,
Yeah.
Sharon, you see that book, The Enchanted Boardroom?
Yes.
I wrote that book in it got published in 2016. And there's a chapter in there about angels in business. And as I was writing that chapter, I remember being at my oldest daughter. My oldest daughter was stationed in San Diego, and I was visiting her. I fell to my knees in her living room as I was writing it out in abject fear. Fear.
Wow.
In that chapter. And of course, the Enchanted Boardroom is, I teach folks how to connect with their boardroom. You've got a live boardroom, and then you've got your spiritual boardroom. And how do we bring our spiritual boardroom in to work with you on a day-to-day basis, blah, blah, blah. Well, the first part of the business, and this is where I'm sharing this for a reason, ShaRon, because it's so important. It connects with what you're talking about. I did all the practical stuff first. I talked all about business first, and the organizational stuff, the people side, and these are the different things you need to do, on and on and on and on. The spiritual stuff was at the end of the book, and how to do the angel stuff, and how to do the bring in your enchanted boardroom, and I got into law of attraction, all that. But again, I was so fearful, absolutely abject fearful. Okay, so at that time it was everything I said was about integrating the practical, tactical, and logical with the emotional, the energetic, the spiritual, and the intuitive. That's what I do. I sit on both sides of the house. Now, January of 2022. Is that right? No, 21. No, it was 22. January 2022. I'm sitting on my couch. I'm looking at my website, and all of a sudden I realize I've had it backwards.
Yes.
Spiritual first.
Yes.
Then the personal, then the practical. It
Yep.
needs to be reversed. So the new book is going to be out at the end of this year, and it's a rewrite of the Enchanted Boardroom, focusing solely on spirituality first. And I'm not scared to write it anymore.
Oh, look at you. Yay.
I am so rocking ready to
Yes,
get
you are.
the book out. And I've got the title, and Terry's seen the cover and all that. I'm not going to get into talking about it much right now, but my point being is how it connects with you is I used to be told that I was ahead of my time. I closed my I had a leadership center from 2001 to 2009. I closed it in 2009 and was told constantly, you're ahead of your time. Well, guess what, Miss ShaRon and Miss Terry, our time has come.
Yes,
Yes.
it's here.
It's here.
It is here.
Yes.
So to dovetail on what you were talking about, ShaRon, the visibility part is what kept me back and held me back. I was scared. I was petrified. I have all these amazing skill sets. I have created miracles sitting on my couch with people and all this other stuff. Yet the visibility part is really scared. And here I am sharing it with the world. I don't
Yes.
care anymore.
Yes.
You're coming out.
Yes.
I'm on a mission, baby. Get out of my way.
Yes.
Get out of my way.
Oh my God, I so love this. Oh, Terry. I too have had that moment of fear with sharing things that it's just this fear of what will people say? And that's
Right.
so crazy because it doesn't matter what people say or what's going on inside of here. That's what matters. But in one of my books, the angels had told me to put something in, and I'm going, there's no way I can write that in that book. People are going to see that.
Really? It's like,
Oh, that's funny, Terry. With an I.
Terry with an I. Yes.
They were very insistent. It's going in the book. And I'm like, I can't do that. It's going in the book. And it went in the book. And guess what? There was somebody that was so blessed by the story I shared that they shared something similar that had happened to them.
Wow.
And so we never know the power of our words. We never know what's going to touch somebody with just a simple share of something that we don't think we can even talk about. So there you go, ladies. Talk about it. Get it out.
Okay. Well, you're like the fourth voice in my head that said, talk about this. No, I don't want to.
Yeah.
Talk about this. Not here. I'm like having this little battle. So here we go. In the faith and what was 3 words? Faith,
trust, and confidence.
trust. Yes. Faith, trust, and confidence. So for about 4 months now, I don't even want to categorize the time. I've had the slow drip of abundance, slow. It's come, but it's slow. And I know I have such trust and confidence that this is going to be changing. It's already changed in my future. I just need to walk into it. And at the same time, there's a requirement to eat. We have to put food in our bodies, and the abundance to purchase food has dwindled to scary, scary levels. And so I watch a lot of YouTubes, and I keep seeing this annoying, it's been annoying, but now I understand, commercial that comes on. Did you know that you can get an allowance from Medicare for $900 a month for food? And I'm like, oh my gosh, I must hear that thing like 29 times a day. And then today, my girlfriend said, ShaRon, you can get food assistance to just tide you over. And I thought, my first thought was, I can't do that. I can't walk in the store and do that, or go some place and do that. And she's a little, well, to be perfectly vulnerable and frank, she's white and I'm not. And so I have an ingrained trauma with, those Black people, they just want to take advantage of the system, this, that. I mean, not that I would do that, but that's in my psyche. And she said to me, well, just do it. It was the big deal. And I went, honey, you have no idea what the big deal is that I have to jump over to even consider that. And then I kept hearing, and she said as well, when the source creator's trying to give you something, you cannot judge how it's coming. Right. Receive. So I'm having the courage later today and tomorrow to go find out if, how, when, and I'm getting emotional as I'm saying it, so no, I'm not fully there. But this is going to be a wonderful story, like you said, Terry with a Y, to share with somebody in hindsight in my future that I move through it to help them. And maybe right now, just me saying this is helping someone.
You know, there's another miracle I'm being compelled to share with you about hearing the voice and listening, because you said you heard the commercial bazillion times. When my daughter was 10 months old, we were stationed in Alexandria, Virginia. And we were moving to Mayport, Florida. And I was saying goodbye to a friend of mine after we had a big dinner. So I put my daughter in the front seat of the car on our way out. And put myself into the driver's seat. This was a little sports car. So she was sitting in those buckets when we were, those
Yes.
buckets that we had for kids. So she was next to me, 10 months old, with a little white bonnet. And as I'm pulling out, I didn't have my seatbelt on. And as I'm pulling out, I heard the words, "Put your seatbelt on." And I ignored it. Then I heard the words again, a little louder, "Put your seatbelt on." And I ignored it. And then I get stopped at a light. And then I hear, "Put your seatbelt on now." Holy crap, where is this coming? I wasn't, put the seatbelt on. I'm like, okay, I'm listening. Whatever that was, I'm listening. And I started to go through the intersection. The light turned green, right? And it was a 6-lane highway. And I'm going through the intersection. Next thing I know, my head hits the steering wheel. The car gets stopped. I'm sitting under the light, and I had been hit by a 19-year-old drunk driver.
Wow.
Where I'm going with you is, ShaRon, when the voices come, listen to them.
Yes.
Listen to them. And that's probably the one defining moment that I had of what would have happened if I had not listened, because we didn't have airbags in the car at that time. I would have gone through the windshield, and I would not be here to be able to share the story.
Right. Right.
And that was 33 years ago that happened. So when the voices come, when the images come, when the feeling come, that intuitive, just, oh, this isn't right. When we listen, and you know what? Nobody says you got to be on that stuff for very long. It may just be enough to give you the peace of mind that puts you in a space that you can energetically attract more of what you want.
Absolutely. It's going to release the stress.
Yes.
And it's going to help with my health, a whole bunch of stuff.
Exactly.
And I know that, and I'm human, and there's still things that that I'm choosing to, and I feel like I'm very close to already doing it, whether I've healed that stuff yet or not. So yeah, can I share a quick story about in relationship to yours, Terry, with the seatbelt?
Yes. Yeah.
Terry with a Y. Terry with a Y. I used to work in a clothing store selling children's clothes, and I had to work late because I was the manager. And where I lived, this was in Queens, New York. And also my uncle was in Alexandria, so I know that part of town too, Terry with a Y. And I was driving home, it was like 9:30, 9:45. I'm tired, and there's nobody really on the road. And to get to my house, I had to go up a road, and it came down and it turned around in that kind of way. And I could see far ahead of me this cardboard box in the lane that I was in, and I heard change lanes. I'm like, it's just a box. I'm tired. I don't want to change lanes. I got closer, and it's like, just like you, change lanes. I'll just, sometimes when there's things in the road, you just hit them and they'll move out of the way. I think it's just a box. I'll just hit it and move out of the way. Well, again, really loud. And now I looked up, and it was the bottom of a light pole cinder block in the road. And I had just changed lanes. I thought, and I still have goosebumps as I tell this story, because that could have been an exit point, and someone saved me, and I listened. Not the first, second, or time, but the third time.
Exactly. Why does it take 2 times for us to listen?
So I'm glad I'm not the only one that sometimes just ignores them when they talk.
Exactly.
Then they hit us over the head with something to say, wake up.
Yeah, then they keep persisting, and they can use anything. ShaRon, they can use a commercial as annoying and stupid as it might be. They can use whatever they're going to use to get to us. So, darling, just be open and listen.
I did.
I totally get what you're saying. I do understand that emotional button that's in there. But moving beyond it to the miracle is going to be for your best and highest good.
Thank you, Terry with an I.
And ShaRon's right here. Suzanne is with us. And Suzanne says, Terry showed up a bazillion times in my newsfeed. So, sometimes it's there and you ignore it, and then it's there again. And you say, oh, maybe I should check that out, but you don't. And then it comes in again. It's like, well, what is this? So, even Facebook can use whatever to attract you to a miracle.
Right.
So, oh my gosh, ladies, this has been so beautiful. And I'm always blown away by not having a written agenda, not having questions I'm going to ask the people that are going to be on with me. I just trust. And that is my life right now is all about trust.
Oh, yes.
Faith that, what I need is going to be there. Whatever is supposed to happen is going to happen. So I just encourage the listeners, if you've been listening to us or if you listen to this on the replay, just listen to these stories of miracles that happen when you trust. And I want the two ladies that are here with me, that are both of you so dear to me, I want you each to share how people can reach out to you, because I think we've had a little bit of a glimpse into both of you and how powerful you are in your faith, in your trust, and in your confidence of who you are and what you do. So please take a moment and share how people can reach you. I do have your bio, a short bio and information in with this video that's streaming, but I just would like to see if there's anything you have going on that you'd like to share, or any specials or anything, or just how people can reach you.
Terry with a Y, would you like to go?
Sure. Well, you can always reach me at intuitiveleadership.com. You can check out everything that we have going there. We are, I will be doing a program called Unlock the Power in You. It is 16 weeks, and it's all about clearing out the self-sabotage, clearing out what no longer works for you. And it includes 2 group sessions and a private session per month, as well as a discussion group. And if you go to unlockthepowerinyou.com, all the details are in there. And I created that program because what I found, like ShaRon, you were saying that you're being led to something else. And I think, Terry, you are too. We talked about this a little bit. We're all shifting and going to different places. That was given to me. I've owned unlockthepowerofyou.com for years. I've had that domain. And all of a sudden I got, yep, you're supposed to do it for this program. It was in a meditation, because the last time I used it was in a live event in 2014. So all of that came about in the last 5 weeks, created the website, and I'm ready to rock and roll with, we're going to have no more than 15 people. So it's going to be very focused and something that will help us as entrepreneurs, because we're all entrepreneurs on this page right now. And those who are looking to increase their spirituality, to grow in mind, body, and wisdom.
Beautiful.
Unlock the power in you.
Unlock the power in you.
Awesome.
.com.
Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, well, I am owning, as I always have, but now it's allowing or pushing or nudging or shoving me to the front with no judgment, just love. And you can find that on the website of No Judgment, Just Love. And by the way, there's no judgment for how you spell it. You can spell it with an E or without. So NOJUDGEMENT, just love, or no, JUDG without an E. Judgment, just love. And you can learn a little bit about who I currently am, but I'm evolving. And one of the places that I would love participation is if you're on Facebook and social media, there's a group called A No Judgment, Just Love World. And we are in there just inspiring each other. I know today was Terry's Say Something Positive Day, all day long. Well, we're all day long in there talking about living the message of no judgment, just love, which is we all judge all the time. That's normal. It's what you do after you make the judgment. I invite you to pause and consider your words, your actions, and your beliefs, and treat each other with kindness and respect. So come on over to Facebook and join the conversation.
Beautiful. And ShaRon has so many services, as does Terry, and as do I. You can find something, and I encourage you, if there's, like, I think Terry, you had mentioned earlier that sometimes we all need a little assistance. We all need that person that will be the observer and look and maybe give us some insight. So please reach out. These two ladies are amazing. I know them both, and I know the power that they have to be able to just tap in and help you. And as ShaRon mentioned, today is the challenge to keep it positive. Whatever's going on in your life, just pivot to the positive if something does come up for you, and be proactive by posting something positive, sending a positive message to somebody, or putting out a picture or words that make us think along the lines of uplifting each other instead of chaotic and negative energy. We're going to turn this world around today with all the positive feed. So thank you to both of you for being here as my special guests today. I just love the way this conversation flowed. I loved every moment of being with you, and it absolutely flew by. I can't believe that it has been a whole hour that we've been together, but it has. And the Peapod happens every Tuesday here on Enlightened World Network. And just share it out. If you find it, if you come across it in your newsfeed, jump in there and then share it with somebody. You'll be doing them a favor. Thank you to all who joined in. We're getting a lot of thank yous from the audience. So grateful for all of you who joined the Peapod today. And we are going to leave you with a message to stay in your heart, stay blessed, and stay positive. And we'll see you next week. Bye, ShaRon. Bye, Terry. I love you both so much.
Bye, everyone.